G'day, Howard. How are you? Where are you today?
Hey, Richard, how are you? Here at Atlanta International School.
Okay, great. So thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to speak with us and share some of your ideas and innovations that help you effectively manage your school community. Welcome to our first Talk IES episode, focusing on leadership solutions during the pandemic. Before we dive straight in, let me tell the audience a bit about your brief background. Howard is an international education director, head of school and group school supervisor. He's the founder of the Canadian Overseas Schools Association and Warrior Foundation, and has over 20 years school management and operation experience. So what are we going to have a chat about? We're going to ask you basically 3 questions about leadership strategies. And without further ado, let me dive straight in. What would you have done differently knowing what you know now?
Patience and more empathy. I think as heads of schools, as leaders in schools, we fix things. We see a problem and we want to fix it. And I think this really came out of left field for most of us. For many of our schools, we were already in the middle of Chinese New Year holiday, so families were scattered, teachers were scattered, and we thought we had to respond quickly. And I think we also thought too short term. We thought that this was going to happen for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month max, and we would be okay. And I think more patience, really taking the time to understand, and empathy to go with that as well, so that with the empathy, understanding the challenges that parents and students were going to face transitioning to online. I think parents and kids did a remarkable job. Some just on phones, some on iPads, some on internet cafes, or all over the place. But I think really taking more empathy too with our teachers and our parents, understanding what's working, what's not working, and not trying to find a solution right away. This is something that's going to be long term, and we're going to have to develop it over time. We're not going to have one size fits all.
For sure. And I remember when we first talked back in February, we were talking about post-pandemic, and here we are still talking about during the pandemic. So absolutely. What do you believe, in all of this time was your defining leadership message to your staff and your faculty during COVID-19?
Well, I think we were able to benefit from a group of schools. And so our schools in China and Macau went through it first. And we were able to experience that and then bring that learning into Thailand and Cambodia when they went online, and then also on the reopening. So that helped a lot. But the defining moment, the one thing I remember saying was, we are going to be judged not by how we handled the start of this pandemic, but we're going to be judged by how we handle it at the end of the pandemic. And I think 2 things. 1, that helped to remind us that it's going to be long term. And 2, the reminder that we didn't have to get it right from the start. It was okay to take risks and to try things, but we also had an obligation to improve it and to do better and to do better and to do better. And I think that helps us look at it as a way of continuous improvement, finding ways that we can innovate, finding ways that we can meet our students and staff members' needs as we move forward.
Right. Thanks for that. So thinking about, the new normal and all these phrases that everybody's coming up with, how different do you think your school will be next academic year, next semester?
Well, first of all, we're not going to have any of the new teachers. So it's all hands on deck. Everyone is going to be shorthanded. I think we're going to have most of the students back, but there will be some that'll be scattered. First of all, some of the schools have already been back in May and June, and that was fantastic. And to be able to have some graduation celebrations, other schools couldn't. I think the difference is going to be just a greater capacity for blended learning. Teachers will have adopted and created new tools from what they were using before. I think first of all, we're all going to hate technology. We're going to try to avoid it for a while, but then we're going to come back to it, and we're going to say, hey, you know, those tools that we used when we were online were really good. How can we use it face to face? I hope we don't take too much of a break. I hope we build the momentum for doing learning differently as we come out of this pandemic, and we use that momentum to really be a catalyst for where we go post-pandemic.
Yeah. Thank you, Howard. That's a lot of really useful information and experience during the pandemic. So we'd really like to thank you for your time joining us today. I know you're really busy, so have a great rest of the week and stay safe.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and look forward to hearing from other heads and leaders as well.